We're about to walk through a massive 5-bedroom home that sits on a 10,000 square foot lot. Stick around to see this great home for sale. Hey everyone, Raj Sahu here, realtor in Central Texas, back with another walkthrough of this home that's currently on the market. It's never been lived in before, and it is the Palisade plan with Taylor Morrison. This specific home has 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, is over 4,400 square feet, and is currently for sale at $1,078,000. As you can tell, when you first walk in, it opens to the second story. You have this huge dining room that we will come back to. But first, I want to go right out to the main living area and really showcase what I think are the best parts of this plan, which is going to start with this main living area that curls into a breakfast nook area, and then that has a wide open kitchen with lots of cabinetry. And as you can tell, open to the second story in the living room. And I love those windows in the back wall, especially those center transom windows that are very large. It really opens up this space. And even on a cloudy day like this, there is so much natural light coming in here. And before we go any further, I do want to credit the listing agent of this home, Urvi Naik. I always enjoy working with Urvi, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. First thing I want to start off with is the living room and the fact that this is just staging, meaning nobody's actually living in this home. Like, I think if you actually lived in here, there'd be a TV up on that wall, and then you also have this open to the second story where up there is going to be a game room area that we'll get into later on in the video. But here, again, it's just staging. So I think this is really where you'd put your couch. Your TV would be up on the wall. You'd have all these windows looking out to your backyard. And as we showed at the beginning of the video, you have some greenery in that backyard that we're looking out to. And this is what I like about these plans. They focus in on the areas that buyers spend the most time in. So a lot of buyers tell me they spend a lot of time in their kitchen and that main living area right off of that kitchen, whether they're just spending time with their family or they're entertaining, they have friends over. It's all about that kitchen, main living area. And that's why I like going through plans like this. Puts in a lot of more emphasis on, I think, this space and making sure it's very open. Here's a good look at the under cabinet vent hood. I like the upgrades that they chose here with the white cabinets, that tile backsplash. If you see the tile up close, it has some good movement in it. And then you also have this white countertop, and I think the flooring provides a good contrast in here, where the flooring's a little bit warmer with some brown tones in it. Everything, I think, flows really well. And this is a good look from that kitchen sink. I love all the windows on the back wall, and there's so much that you could do back here in your backyard. Again, this home has never been lived in, so you're not actually seeing furniture in all the different pockets. It's just some staging that's been done. So try to use your imagination when you're going through it. Like, this is a breakfast nook area. You can maybe have like a small table in here. And actually, with that in mind, if you wanted to see a home that is fully staged out, take a look at the model home, a walkthrough, which I will post in the description of this video. But first, stick around with me, because I find a lot of people ask me, hey, can you find me homes that are a little bit more realistic, that are a little bit more typical of what home buyers do, rather than just show model homes? Because sometimes the model homes are so dressed up, it's difficult to perceive what's possible within budget, or what's normal or what's average around the market. This is something that I think is more realistic. It still is fantastic with what was chosen in here. And we'll get into more of that when we get back into the home. Focusing on the outdoor patio here, I love the amount of space that's back here. I find with a lot of buyers, they tell me, hey, I want a big lot, and that means I have to be over 10,000 square feet. Sometimes I just think that's just a really nice round number that people kind of call out. But right now in the MLS, this lot size is over 10,000 square feet. So I think for a lot of people that are moving here out of state, where it's difficult where they are to get land, here in Texas, it's nice having that lot size, especially when you have some privacy back there. There's a lot of different things you can do in a backyard that big. Getting back into the home, this is going to be the laundry area. So you see some plumbing there for a washer and dryer. Or I should say a vent for the dryer and some plumbing for the washer. I like how they have a nook in the back left where you could possibly put some cabinetry aftermarket. They of course have a linen closet already built in there. And this is going to be something, again, fairly typical with homeowners in terms of what they choose at design. I don't know the exact percentage, but I know most model homes are going to have cabinetry and it's all done up in there. But I think a lot of homeowners elect to just maybe do that aftermarket. So very typical. This is going to be the pantry, which I missed earlier when we were taking a tour of the kitchen. I want to just head outside and really show that backyard, which I think was great. But what's even more interesting about this area is there's a second pantry. So maybe not as big as what you saw behind me, of course, but I like that they have this nook area behind this storage space. So I've seen people put in like a built-in desk right next to me. So obviously not in the storage space here, but right here, just have a small desk or something to, kind of put mail, or if you're working while or trying to get work done while you maybe have something on the stove, it's nice to just have a small area there where you have a built-in desk opportunity, or lots of different opportunities when you have a space like that right next to your kitchen. And then we do have a 3-car tandem garage. So that's going to be the tandem space. So you have some really good storage space back there. And what I saw in the notes on this home is they did elect for an EV charger. They have over $120,000 in upgrades, and I think they did really well allocating that money across the home, putting it in the good areas that I think will really come back to you in the future. Speaking of one of those areas, let's head over to the primary bedroom and bathroom. And while we head over there, I want to mention that when you go to a design studio, usually your biggest ticket items for design is going to be your flooring, all the upgrades that you do in your kitchen, and then the upgrades that you do in your primary bathroom as well as secondary bathrooms, but mostly your primary. I'll show you why in a second. This is going to be the primary bedroom. I love the lighting that they've chosen here. For a room this big, I think it would be tough to just put one light in here, and that's what the builder will usually include, but then you have to add additional lights where you have usually a separate electrical meeting to do that in. I think this is a good spot to do it considering how big this room is. I love the windows on that back wall. Probably should open up the blinds, you can see it, but I think the living room is probably a good example of how much natural light is coming into this home with all those great windows on the back wall. This is going to be the primary bathroom. I like that frosted window in the back. Again, it keeps bringing in that natural light while still giving you some privacy. Love the upgrades that they chose in here. Very light and bright. The tile in the walk-in shower goes all the way up to the ceiling. If you're wondering, by the way, what that light is in the ceiling, I just had a closing with Taylor Morrison around a similar product line. It was actually a different floor plan, but they did that light in there. What the builder told me is supposedly that UV light. I don't know if it's a UV light or not, but it's some sort of light to kill bacteria. We all kind of chuckled about it because I don't really know if that actually works, but I thought it was at least pretty cool. And you'll find that in this home, they did that light, I think, in almost every bathroom. Don't quote me on that, but I'll pan up like I usually do, and you'll see it. It actually adds a lot of good light in a lot of these areas, and you may not notice it in just the video walkthrough, but I noticed it, and I think overall this homeowner picked some really good upgrades, and again, put their money in the right places, which I think is not always easy to do when you go to a design studio and there's millions of options, it feels like, and it's easy to get fatigue and just kind of put your money in so many different random places. But again, in this house, I think they did a great job. That was going to be a look at the primary closet, and we're going to head over to the rest of the first story here. So we saw the primary bedroom, bathroom, that main living area. We still have another bedroom downstairs. We have a study downstairs. We have a powder bath. And then we'll head upstairs where we have a huge game room that I'm excited for you to see. In this area, we have a powder bathroom, I think in a good location, right off of that main living area. I like how they did a separate tile here to kind of cut up that space and make that powder bathroom its own. And then this is just going to be a big storage space, very large closet. They actually have the structured wire panel in here, so a lot of wiring is kind of being fed into that area, which is a good spot for it. It's centrally located in the home, and that is definitely a big closet space for it as well. Now we're getting back to the double front doors. I like how they put a window on top of it. Again, still lots of natural light coming in. on both sides of the home. And then this is going to be a look at that dining room that we just glanced at when we first walk in. As you can tell, lots of space here. This is a 6-seater table. You'll see as I pan to either side of it, there's a lot of room on either side. I think you could easily fit an 8-seater table in here, and you still have a good amount of room. Again, this is just staging, so we do this just to give you a visual, so you're not just looking at a bunch of empty rooms. I think the stager did really well, and I think there are still some areas that we can use our imagination on. So what's interesting about this space, which is the study, is this is not shown visually in the model home that showcases this same plan. They have the option for a generational suite where it takes out this room, makes it like a sitting room, and kind of combines it with a bedroom and in-suite full bathroom, which we're actually going to see next. I like this option much better, especially with so many people working from home. I think you pretty much have to have a study now on your first floor with the double doors here, great windows, lots of room in here. That's a great idea to have that room, especially in this location of the home where it's at the front, it's separated from the main living area. It still feels very private, but still very open with all those windows. And that's going to be a look at the coat closet, which of course is very close to the front door for a reason. Although this is Texas, I don't know too many people that are going to be showing up with big winter jackets that need to be hung up. But I laugh because when it gets to below 50 degrees here, you do get the Texans that break out their winter jackets, but then you see people who have moved here from the north and they're in like shorts, and you just have so many different people in wearing different gear because some people are acclimated to the weather, others think it's just always nice out in the winter, which is always funny to see the difference. This is going to be the second bedroom downstairs. Again, I think they put their money in the good areas of this home. This is going to be one of those good areas. A walk-in shower. I have so many buyers that say I need a walk-in shower for my second bedroom down, and it's tough to find on the resale market once you get into that 4-year-old to 10-year-old range, just because there are a lot of homes built back then where it's just one bedroom down, everything else is upstairs. But I think now it's becoming more popular. I'm not surprised to see this on a brand new home that's never been lived in. Very smart to have that upgrade in there. And then I like with the stairwell, you kept the end caps with a really nice railing, but you can always lift this carpet up very easily. There's lots of different flooring companies that can do something there to either try to match something close to the flooring on the floor or provide like a darker contrast. So lots of different options that you can do there. I've actually had a flooring company come in and quote for a lot of buyers, even buyers that are building new, because sometimes that carpet upgrade to a wood floor is very expensive with some of these builders. It really just depends on timing and also the builder that you're working with. And then of course we are upstairs. I like how everything was light and bright. When you walk up there, you're really hit by the windows and that back wall in the living room. And then this is going to be that big game room that I was telling you about. Lots of different space in here. I like again that they did some extra lighting in this size of a room. I thought that was very smart. It's going to be great for livability. And I even like some of the windows here that look out to some greenery. And as I mentioned before, 5 bedrooms. So we had 2 bedrooms down, we have 3 bedrooms up, and then we have full bathrooms for every single bedroom. Of course, you do need a bathroom that is accessible from the hallway in case you have guests over and they're in the game room. Of course, they need something to use without having to go through somebody's bedroom. This one is right off of the bedroom, so and the game room. So I like that location where if you have somebody using the bathroom, they can just kind of walk right over back to their bedroom. You have this huge storage space, which I think is missing in a lot of plans. I find a lot of people say, hey, I need this. You know, I need a place to kind of put toys away or have board games or something that they need. And oftentimes fitting it into a bedroom closet is not the best alternative. So I like that storage space that's there. And then big closet spaces, even within the bedrooms, which is sometimes I don't usually see. I usually just see one of those closets where it doesn't even have a light in it. It's just kind of like double doors that pulls out, but it's very slender. but here we have some really good sized walk-in closets. So with the 3 bedrooms, that 1 bedroom is the one that's right off of the game room. The other 2 bedrooms I like are a little bit more private, away from that game room, away from the main living area. And we have lots of closet space. So this is what I'm finding a lot of people want to see. I do get sometimes a lot of people commenting, why didn't you show that closet? Or I love that walkthrough you did, but you didn't show me that one closet. So many people are coming here needing more space. That's the biggest thing I'm finding. People, when they move here from out of state, they just say, I need more space. I feel like I'm on top of everyone. And it's because, you know, affordability, people talk about affordability in Austin, how it's been more difficult than it has in the past. But here's the thing, that's been the case everywhere. In the United States, even in Canada, inflation has hit assets like real estate. But if you put that to the side, the value proposition for Austin is still very strong. There are still very unaffordable areas in other pockets of the United States that are high taxes, high cost of living, and that's why the value proposition is still very high to move to a place like Austin, and specifically to a community like this. This is Traditions at Vizcaya. It's a great community in the Round Rock area. If you look up new construction in Round Rock, you're just not going to find too many options, and it's difficult if you even go a step further and try to find a forever home community where people are building 3,500 square feet to 4,500 square feet. And when you're building that size of a home, you're not building it to be a rental, right? The price to rent ratio never makes sense at that high of a square footage. So people are buying these homes and staying in them usually for the long term. And those are the types of communities that I think have a high amount of livability, because you want friends, and you want, if you have kids, you want your kids to go outside and see the same kids instead of it being more into a rental neighborhood where everybody's constantly moving in and out. That's not always fun, but I think that this is a great community to be in. And again, if you like the idea of being in Round Rock rather than being further out in the various northern suburbs, and you like the idea of being in a new home, new construction, then take a look at this option. I put the MLS ID and information on it in the description of this video. And again, I appreciate Urvi Naik at Compass, who is the listing agent for this home, and somebody who I partnered with, where when people reach out to me for listings, because I do a lot on the buy side, I tend to connect them with great agents like Urvi. So if that's you, or you are looking at new construction homes, reach out to me. My information is in the description of this video, and if I can help you, great. If I can't, I'll at least connect you to somebody who can. Hope this helps. Take care.